And to our top story for you this morning, the Prime Minister is facing a week of Brexit battles, including a 5-day parliamentary debate, which starts tomorrow, and a possible televised debate with Jeremy Corbyn, which is scheduled for Sunday.
So lots coming up, but what about today? Well, today she's facing a backlash when the Attorney General, Geoffrey Cox, publishes a shortened version of his legal advice about Ms May's withdrawal deal. Many MPs say it's crucial to see the document in full. Now, one of those is the Liberal Democrat leader, Sir Vince Cable, who's in Westminster for us this morning and joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us, Sir Vince Cable. Talk to me about why you feel this legal advice should be seen by MPs.
Well, when we have these crucial moments for the country, I mean, I was a member of the cabinet where we decided on military action in Libya, Syria, and it's important that we should be able to justify these actions legally. If you remember, there was the case of the Iraq War, Tony Blair. The legal evidence was absolutely crucial, and the precedent was established that these things should be out in the open before Parliament.
The flip side to this, though, isn't it that legal advice between a lawyer and a client, i.e. the Attorney General and Theresa May, should be confidential, should remain confidential? I
think there's a difference between the personal advice to an individual in terms of their legal position and the position of the country. I think the particular issue which is exciting people here is that the major argument about the so-called Northern Ireland backstop, which is whether Britain can leave a customs union arrangement unilaterally or only with the agreement of the European Union, that is a matter of law, and the judgment of the Attorney General is absolutely crucial. I think the assumption of a lot of us is that what the legal advice to the government is that they can't leave unilaterally, and that concedes a major point which is of concern to particularly the Brexit side of the argument.
There are those who are supporting Brexit who say, look, there have been so many hurdles on the way to getting this deal passed through. Isn't this just another step, another tool by those who don't want to see this deal go through to frustrate the process? What would you say to that?
Well, there are people who are highly critical of it from both sides. I mean, at the moment, the government's a little bit like a car where the bits are falling off on a daily basis. The resignation of the Science and Higher Education Minister was an absolutely crucial step. Whether they're going to survive this week with more resignations, I don't know. I think where we're going to get to is that the government is going to be voted down. The argument is really about what majority, and then where we go from there. And I, in particular, will be making the argument that we should be going back to the public and asking them whether they want the government's deal or to remain within the European Union.
Well, so would you be siding with Labour then? Because that appears to be the plan that the Labour Party is putting forward, or an option that the Labour Party is putting forward.
Well, the leadership of the Labour Party has been highly ambiguous. I mean, as you say, they're just talking about an option. We're absolutely clear that this has to go back to the public, and I think there is a growing amount of public support for that and a growing amount of support in Parliament. I think it will happen. Michael Gove conceded yesterday that this is now very likely.
Well, the Labour Party's amendment does effectively rule out a no plan, a no deal scenario. So are you supporting that?
Oh, absolutely. I put my signature down on a motion, an amendment which makes that. It would be absolutely disastrous if the country were to crash out of the European Union. At the moment, there is no need. We're no longer negotiating with the European Union. Any decision to crush the UK economy would be a deliberate act of vandalism by the British government. That cannot be allowed.
Another referendum, what about the fact that it is just simply undemocratic? We asked, the public was asked to vote. The public voted, and of those who voted, the majority voted to leave the EU. That's democratic process. By putting another referendum, you're basically saying, well, no, that one didn't count because we didn't get the result we wanted.
Well,
so let's try again.
We've been over this argument many, many times. I mean, the central point is that the position now is very, very different. We now know in a way that we didn't know back in 2016 what Brexit actually involves. We have the government's proposal. It's very different from what people were promised. People are unhappy with it either because they want a stronger Brexit or, like me, because they think we've got as good a deal as we're ever likely to get within the European Union. It's going back to the public and asking them whether they approve of the government's deal seems to me an entirely reasonable and democratic way forward.
Sir Vince Cable, leader of the Liberal Democrats Party, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.